Hey guys, Jenna here. Welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of creative spaces and feature people living alternatively. In today's video, we're traveling back to Circle Pond Tiny House Community to take a tour of two sisters who own tiny homes parked next to each other. So this video is really a 2-for-1 when it comes to tiny house tours. It's funny to see how different these two sisters decorated and designed their tiny homes, but also how their homes seem to perfectly match their individual personalities. It just goes to show how important it is to personalize your tiny home for your unique lifestyle. If you like these kind of videos, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell because I publish 1 to 2 new video tours every single week. All right guys, let's jump right in and meet these sisters and take 2 tours of their tiny homes.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Alexis.
And we live in side-by-side tiny houses. I live in my tiny house with my dogs.
And I live with my boss baby. Her name is Nalini, and she's 2. A 2-year-old tyrant.
Growing up, we weren't close.
Oh yeah, we didn't like each other. She didn't like me.
That's not true. We like different things. And then we moved into an apartment together and we started getting close. And then after that year of living together, immediately after we moved into tiny houses.
I found tiny houses on Facebook. I brought her with me to go on a tour. And then she toured one and was like, oh, I love it. And then we went tiny together.
We decided to live in separate homes, not just one home, because I don't like living with my sister. We have just different styles. I'm just a very type A, like things a certain way, and she's more of like a more warm and homey person, and I'm not.
Mine is more like a farmhousey style, and hers is more modern. Her kitchen's massive because she actually likes to cook, and mine is like an afterthought, like I have one because I need one.
Me and my sister paid different for our tiny houses. Mine was a little bit more expensive than hers. I paid close to $80,000.
I only paid $75,000, which is great because I usually pay more than her for everything. But this time it was her. I was very excited when I saw that price tag. How did I find this tiny house community? Well, I found it. I googled it, and we just got really lucky. It wasn't built yet, so I called the number the same day. I gave her the deposit, and then we came and toured, and it was just like dirt. And we were like, wow! We paid $475, and that includes the utilities, the water, lawn care. This is my house that I've named Woodhaven because she's made out of wood, and that's my haven. This is my living room. This is my bookshelf. I had them kind of build this whole thing around it because I love books and I refuse to get rid of any when I went tiny, and I collect more. And then I also told them I had this like massive 50-inch that I refuse to get rid of as well. They kind of put that into the design. It's kind of big. I wanted space because I like to dance. So I was like, I need space to dance first. This is my ladder to the second loft. We don't use it often. And that's the second loft, which is a mess because it's a storage loft. This was originally supposed to be my reading nook. So they like measured me and then created this so I can read under here like a cool person would. And then I had a baby, and you can't really read with a baby in a nook. So this is where all her toys go. This is the kitchen. I got butcher block countertops because they're beautiful and I love them. I just have a regular electric stove top. I don't even like to cook, so I'm not really sure where I got it, but it's cute. I got a farmhouse sink because I couldn't get a dishwasher. And I got copper because I thought it'd be really pretty, and it is. So I put this stick-on wallpaper. I change it every season. And then they did these out of butcher block countertops. I've tried minimizing the space so that it looks fun, but there's only so much you can do when you have like 10, 50 mugs in a tiny house. This is my fridge. I wasn't here for the whole mini fridge craze because I don't like going to the grocery store. And then I've got these pull-out pantries as well. This is my least favorite part of the house, only because I didn't realize how much space one would need with a child. When I designed my house, there was no child in mind. So this is my washer dryer combo, which works sometimes. When it works, it's a good day. When it doesn't work, you know, we roll with it. And this is my flush toilet. I used to have a compost toilet, but I cloth diapered Boss Baby. The compost toilet wasn't working for me no more, so I had them switch it out. I was on Pinterest and I was like, let me do something fun. So I tried peel and stick tile, which I obviously can't do because we're missing some pieces and none of these are straight. But you know, life's an experiment. We just keep rolling with it. We roll with it. This part is my favorite. This is the bowl. It's pretty. I like it. And this is the shower, which is nowhere near big enough for me and the boss. Bathing a baby with no tub is no fun. It's awful. It's just awful. And then they gave me this closet, which was supposed to be my clothes. It's not. It's boss's clothes and more boss's stuff, so that she can reach it since she's at that age. How I baby-proofed my tiny house, I had her paternal grandfather build this meaty structure barrier thing for her because I was terrified that she would just like crawl off. This is our room. This is actually a queen-size bed because it's pretty big up here. And then I got those two things for our clothes. And we have skylights because I wanted to see the moon.
My name's Ashley, and this is the chef's kitchen. It is my tiny house. I do have a 26-foot tiny house. I chose blue for my house because it's a really nice color, it reflects the light well, and it also stands out without being too overbearing. I chose the Tiffany blue door because that's my mom's favorite color. Made sure to have a part of her in my house. Now let's go have a look inside my house and see what it's all about. So this is my kitchen. I love to cook, so I made sure that my kitchen was the biggest part of my house. I love being in the kitchen, making recipes. Food is just something that's very big in my culture. So I have a 3/4 length fridge. It's not a full length fridge and freezer, but it's 3/4 length, fits perfectly in a tiny house. I also have my pantry here. It's a pull-out pantry, so the top and the bottom both come out. And I made sure that they installed that to make sure I have ample space for all of my stuff. In my kitchen, there's a lot of storage, only because I do have a lot of things. So like all of my kitchen gadgets are down here. I have a spiralizer, crock pot, I have rice cooker. I have so much different gadgets because different recipes need different things. And also I did make them install spice racks on both sides. Unfortunately, I can't use this one because of the washer dryer combo. It sticks out a little too much. I love these countertops because in my house you'll see I don't really have a lot of color. It's mainly just black, whites, and like neutral tones. And the countertops add a little bit more of a sparkle and shine. And also this backdrop has elements of blues in it to keep it kind of a cooler tone within the kitchen. So this is my living room. I love to have people over, even though it is a tiny house, so I made sure to have a couch that can at least fit 3 people. It can fit more because it is a pull-out couch, and it also turns into a full-size bed. My dogs love to be in here, very clearly. They love to be all around the house, jump on the couch. That's why I had to make sure to get a leather or a fake leather couch. This is so much easier to clean. And with Nalini sometimes coming over, so much easier to clean. There's storage underneath here, it pulls up. That's like where all of my extra little knickknacks and gadgets from my house, like books, writing supplies, all of that fun stuff. I also have a projector instead of a TV because I didn't want to take away space from my wall. So this is my screen. Whenever I'm ready to watch, I'll just unhook it, put it up, and then I'll be able to watch movies. I can basically play anything I want. Same thing as a regular TV. These stairs lead up to the only loft, my loft, and that is where I sleep. I do only have 1 loft in my tiny house. A lot of tiny houses have 2. I only have 1 because I wanted to make sure to have space for my kitchen. But I do have these custom floating stairs that they built just for my house, just because I wanted something to bring in a little bit more warmth, because it's mainly just whites and blacks and grays. So this has a little bit more of like an orange tone to just make it a little bit more warmer in the living room area specifically. And then right underneath is where all my dogs play and all their stuff is. That's where they sleep and all their toys are. This is my loft. This is where I sleep. I have a full-size bed up here. It fits better than a queen or a king. I don't really need all that space, all that size. These are all just like my little cubby area. I have my books, my games, my camera, and then my wall of shoes. I love shoes. I had to downsize a lot to live in a tiny house, but I had to make sure to keep the majority of my shoes. That is one of the main focals. So if you ever walk into my house, you see the kitchen, the living room, and then a wall of shoes. So this is where my bathroom is. The only door in my house besides the front door is this barn door that we had installed. It's a sliding barn door, and I installed this latch on the outside and the inside so I can lock it. And so I also have a pretty nice sized bathroom in my opinion, only because I do spend a lot of time in here as well. I like to make sure like my outfits match or all of that goes together. So this is my closet in my tiny house. I also have this bin of clothes. One of the big things about my tiny house is that I have a bathtub in my house. So I made sure that they installed one so that I could take a bath if I ever wanted to, because I am an athlete as well. So I like to sometimes soak my muscles and just like get all of that relaxation and self-care going on. So I have a bathtub that I can fit in comfortably. Not a lot of people can, but it was a custom house. The last thing about my tiny house bathroom is that my toilet isn't a regular toilet, it's a compost toilet. Sometimes finding sewage hookups is extremely difficult because I do have a tiny house on wheels, so I can move it wherever I want. And sewage hookups are a little bit more difficult to come across. So I just made sure to get a compost toilet so that way I don't ever have to worry about that. If I need to park somewhere, I can. I haven't really moved my house because I haven't had a reason to, but just having that option is really nice. I think what I like the most about the tiny house lifestyle is my impact. It's not as big environmentally. Living tiny, it's just hard to have a lot of stuff.
I like that I get to raise her, you know, in a home. Even if it's not a giant home, it's still a home. It enabled me to be out of work for like 9 months. I was just living off savings because my expenses were so low.
Since we're talking about finances, I think that now might be a good time to talk to you about this week's sponsor, Acorns. Are you actively trying to save and invest in your future? The investment world can be intimidating, but that's where Acorns comes in. Acorns makes it easy to save and invest every day in the background of life, starting with your spare change. No expertise required. You'll start by getting set up with Acorns, which takes only 5 minutes, and then you can start investing with as little as $5. Acorns helps you build habits for your financial well-being, and it can make a big impact. Invest spare change every time you spend with Acorns Roundups. Acorns rounds up every purchase you make to the nearest dollar. It will keep track of that for you, and once you've hit $5, it will transfer from your linked bank account and invest that for you. You might not even notice it, and over time, it can really grow. Go to get.acorns.com/tinyhousegiantjourney, download the Acorns app, and start investing with just your spare change. And Acorns is going to give you a $10 bonus investment if you use my link to set up your account. Terms and conditions apply. And a big thank you to Acorns for sponsoring this video. It's sponsors like this that allow me to continue to make great content for you guys. So thank you very much, Acorns.